All right, hey y'all. This is Miss Ross with Pre-Calc. Here's how we're gonna do homework questions for right now. I can't promise this is what it's always gonna look like because I can't promise consistency this year as we sort of figure things out and figure out distance learning and negotiate everything that's happening, but this is what it's gonna look like for right now. What I'm gonna do is take the nominations. I can't promise I'll do all of them, but I will pick the ones with the highest ones and then I'll point out where they're similar sometimes. So if you are confused about anything in the homework, make sure that you're nominating in the Google form that's attached to each assignment. So for example, the one by far away with the most votes in homework assignment from chapter 1, section 2 was number 79 with 77 a second. And those two are really similar, so I'm going to point out where they're similar here as we work through 79. So this is exponent review, and then we're looking at the added challenge of putting it in scientific notation. So, first thing I'm going to look at here is we have three different numbers, and as it prompts you to think about significant figures. So when you have a problem like this, your significant figures are only as accurate as your least accurate number. So what that means is that if you have a number that only has two digits, that's the most accurate you can be with your final answer. So while this numerator at the top has a lot of significant figures, it's got a lot of decimals there, these two both have 3, so that's how many digits we're going to use in our final answer. Okay? So from there, we're going to remember that this is an exponent problem, and you'll notice we've got our powers of 10, that's how this ties in. When I do scientific notation problems with multiplication and division, I like to break them up into 2 sections. I like to break them up into the numbers on one side and then the tens on the other. And that way we're going to keep everything organized and we're not going to have to use our calculators as much. So on this side, we'll have 1.29564. Don't worry, we're not going to have all those numbers at the end of our problem. Over, and it's a multiplication problem in the denominator, 3.610 times 2.511. And this is definitely one of those cases that we're going to have to use a calculator if we want to do it quickly, and I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. The other side, however, we definitely won't need a calculator because this is just 10 to the 9th, 10 to the negative 17th, times 10 to the 6th. And so when you're doing multiplication, like with number 77, you can just add those two exponents together and simplify. Here we have division, so we're going to simplify them a bit more. I'm going to cross out the negative one, make it flip to the other side of the fraction. And then 10 to the 9 plus 17 over 10 to the 6th, so 9 plus 17 minus 6 becomes 10 to the 20th. Right, just a little bit of arithmetic. On the other side, to save us time, I'm going to type that into our calculator. And remember, we only need 3 digits afterwards. But one thing you might notice is you type this into your calculator, you get 0.1429. I'll include the next digit. And this is a problem because this number isn't in correct scientific notation. Because if you remember correctly, there should be a digit in front here. So this number's too small. And if you think about with scientific notation, when a number's too small, we move the decimal point over until there's 1 digit in front. And then going 1 space this way is a -1 as a power of 10 in the exponent. So we have to balance both sides. It's almost like an equation. And that's how you end up with the final answer, 1.429. There were more digits in the division, but we don't need them because of our significant figures here, times 10 to the 19th. And that's how you get that as your final answer here. So if you have any other questions about 1.2, ask them in the comments, ask them in the form, and I will recheck that, but this is how we're going to do homework questions for right now. So hopefully this helped, and obviously for 77, you're basically doing the same thing, but with just the multiplication problem and simplifying that way. Talk to you later. Bye.